In 1984 and 1985, two movies were released. 1984, based on the novel by George Orwell of the same name, and Brazil, directed by Terry Gilliam. These movies are both unique in their presentations. However, I believe that they have similar messages to convey. In this video, I wish to explore those messages. In the movie 1984, the protagonist lives in a dystopian future. He lives in a land named Oceania, which is at constant war with lands named East Asia and Eurasia. They all work in a factory-like setting and wear gender-neutral uniforms, whether man or woman. The protagonist, played by John Hurt, essentially fakes his way to this society. The outsiders that choose not to participate in it are seen as animals, or the equivalent thereof. His secret, however, is that he is not in agreement with his society and the order of what is referred to as Big Brother, which is really just a metaphor for this system. In his private moments, he journals and thinks about a life outside of this system. Of course, he does not share these sentiments with his contemporaries or anybody for that matter, because it could cost him his life. While this film is a completely sober and serious take on the dangers of the system, so to speak, Brazil is a film that attempts to be a bit more cheeky about it, even poking fun at how silly the system paradigm can be.
Report a wrongful arrest.
You want information adjustments, different department.
I've been to information adjustments. They sent me here. They said you have a form I need to fill out.
Have you got an arrest receipt?
Yeah.
Is it stamped?
Stamped?
No, there's no stamp on it, you see. I can't let you have the form until this is stamped.
Where do I get it stamped?
Information adjustments.
There are even constant bombings throughout the film, and people treat it as something of an everyday occurrence, as if somebody tripped and fell. However, although the films are portrayed differently and have different styles, the outcome for both protagonists ends up being pretty much the same. In 1984, thinking about life apart from the society of Big Brother by way of things the establishment deems decadent and dreadful, such as sex, are known as stock crimes. And it is these crimes that make an individual susceptible to punishment by the establishment, forcing people, like our protagonist, to hide his true feelings. And he hides them very well, as there are many around him that will be quick to report him. In Brazil, the protagonist is a cog in the machine of the organization known as information retrieval, which gathers information on its citizens constantly. Though they have different approaches, both essentially deal with the same thing: a man trying to navigate a world under the vast shadow of the system. Both of our protagonists meet a woman, and for both of them this is where the problems begin. In 1984, John Hurt's character falls in love with a woman and begins to have sexual relations with her in secret. In Brazil, Lowry meets the real-life version of the woman he is in love with in his dreams, and uses his connections at his job at information retrieval to track her down. Eventually, for both of these characters, the pursuit of these women lead to their ultimate demise. In 1984, John Hurt's character and his lover are discovered by an undercover thought police officer that was posing as a friendly shop owner that rented him the room that he used for his secret rendezvous with his lover. While in Brazil, after Lowry's love interest becomes wanted by the authorities for trying to exploit a mistake they made that led to an innocent man's death, he falsifies documents to make information retrieval believe she is already dead. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. Lowry's deception is discovered, his love interest is killed, and he is detained and charged with many counts. Though Lowry pleads his innocence, he is still not set free, and chooses to lose himself in the fantasy that he actually escaped captivity and relocated to a remote piece of land outside the clutches of the big city with his love. Of course, It is just a fantasy, and as the film shows, he never makes it out of captivity or that torture chair.
He's got away from us, Jack. Afraid you're right, Mr. Helpman. He's gone.
The ending of 1984 is staggeringly poignant, however. After the protagonist is arrested along with his love, he is subjected to torture by electrocution. It is revealed to him that there is no war with Eurasia, or anyone else for that matter. And the only reason for the propaganda of such a war is to keep the citizens compliant. Compliant to the system. Compliant to Big Brother. And the real war is being waged on the everyday man, the everyday citizen, by Big Brother. One of the most depressing lines spoken in the film, because it is probably one of the most true, is when John Hurt's character says to his captor, "Life will defeat you. Someone will defeat you." To which the captor stoically replies, "We control life on every level."
Somehow you will fail. Something will defeat you. Life will defeat you.
We control life at all levels.
You can see the color drain from his face as he realizes he is most likely correct. In the end, though he does not die a physical death, he supposedly dies a spiritual one, as every thought criminal before him. He is tortured until he is stripped of his individuality and human spirit, left only with a programmed, robotic love for nothing or no one other than Big Brother. Though both films have different approaches, I believe that the message is the same. No one man, no matter how much they wish to be, is out of the reach of the grasp of Big Brother. None of us are ever impervious to the threat of tyranny.